Hi everyone, this is Knowess International. My name is Ida and I'm the founder of Knowess International. Knowess International divulges information about tourism, hospitality and gastronomy. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are working in one of these sectors, or if you are a passionate, follow Knowess International on all social media. We will post periodically a lot of content talking about different topics and matters. Moreover, it's time to change for Knowess International. The blog is turning into a company, so you can discover all upcoming updates on all social media, and in September 2024 we will announce the company's new opening. Today we are talking about no-shows handling for restaurants. Let's start with an example. It's Saturday evening and the restaurant is fully booked. Last table available for the first sitting, which has been swiftly occupied by random guests. Tonight the restaurant has all the requirements to achieve the maximum occupancy, but 5 guests didn't show up and the table remained empty until closing. A very common situation, isn't it? Well, most of the restaurants nowadays are asking to themselves if asking for a credit card as means of guarantee is a good idea or not. Of course, all restaurateurs, they should think strategic and understand if penalty conditions are suitable for their own business. Anyway, the decision is based on different criteria. Restaurant's position and occupancy, restaurant's level and status, number of guests, season and time factor. Let's check the criteria in details. So the first two elements to consider are position and occupancy. If the restaurant, for instance, is located in a very touristic area and there are a lot of tables available with different sittings per day with the all-day kitchen service available, there is a high probability to reach the break-even point very early during the day every day and to have a constantly high revenue. Quite opposite is the situation for restaurants located in a suburb, secondary streets, small cities, or in hardly reachable locations. But anyway, there are many criteria to evaluate, so let's check the second criteria. Let's talk about status and level. Restaurateurs must deem the restaurant's status and level too. In fact, restaurants with high status normally they are losing more revenue for no-shows, comparing to medium and lower restaurants level. The higher the standards, the higher the costs for products and staff. For high-status restaurants beyond that, there is a lower possibility for passing customers. Nevertheless, a restaurant attended by high-standard guests has also a lower risk to receive a complaint if the restaurant is asking for a credit card as guarantee. Instead, guest frequenters of lower standard restaurants, they might not be understandable with the penalty conditions. Furthermore, talking about customers, there is also a difference between new openings and restaurants with a loyal established clientship. But let's move forward. Another important criteria, another important point is related to the number of guests. Some restaurants, for example, they are taking the credit card as guarantee only for groups with more than 8 or 10 or 15 guests. And it is worth to fix penalty conditions based on the number of guests. Because depending, of course, on the general occupancy and on the type of event, it might be a very big loss to have a big table or even a big event as no-shows. The last topic, the last criteria is concerning the season and the timing. In this criteria, I would put everything together: day of the week, timing, time of the day, and sitting hours. Sometimes it is full understandable and it is worth to take a credit card as guarantee for all tables reserved on Saturday night. For example, in a big city like New York or like Rome. But it is not sensible to get a guarantee for a Saturday night in Dubai during the low season, for example in August. The time of the day, it is significant too, because there is a big difference between Friday noon and Friday night. So always consider the day of the week, the frequency of customers during that time, and the season. In short, any restaurants should consider different points before to take in consideration certain penalty conditions, as taking a credit card as guarantee and charge the credit card if there are no shows, related to the fact that the principal purpose of all restaurants is to achieve the maximal revenue. On the other side, there is the guest satisfaction too, which cannot be underestimated. In some cases, it can be helpful to combine different operations with different flexible conditions, which anyway are depending on the factors mentioned. At the end, the most important thing is always to be clear with all guests. Always inform them on all conditions before to confirm the booking. For example, I was just reading on LinkedIn a post talking about a low rating given by a guest because the restaurant asked for a credit card. Well, I want just to say that sometimes can happen that even guests at the hotel disagree if the front office wants to take an authorization or ask for credit cards credentials. So the point is always to talk to them, let them understand why, and always explain everything politely. Of course, not all customers, they are able to understand that losing revenue can have a negative impact on the business. I just want to say something more about restaurants. There are some restaurants that during the weekend they are planning different seatings in order to improve the revenue and to reach the maximal occupancy, which is full understandable. And I think this is a very good organization by restaurant managers, and therefore it's very important that guests are coming in time. So even when guests are taking a reservation during the weekend, always say that they have a sitting time from this time to this time, and it's very important that they are coming punctual. If the guest is complaining, just explain that this is the policy during the weekend. Because the restaurant is full, they must guarantee the seating. Moreover, by delay or no shows, the manager must understand if it's the case to charge the credit card or not, must decide how to proceed. Of course, there are penalty rules to be followed, there are conditions, but for example, as there are sometimes situations happening, there are sometimes misunderstanding, or the guest is a loyal guest and normally is always coming. And of course, if you must charge the credit card, send a message or an email to the guest in order to advise that you are proceeding with the payment. You can write again the penalty conditions. So we have from one side the maximum revenue to reach, but never forget the guest satisfaction. You can find more information about this topic by reading the article No Shows Handling for Restaurants, available on our blog knowessblog.com under the category Gastronomy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want to watch a specific topic on this channel. Knowess International is talking about tourism, hospitality and gastronomy at 360 degrees. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and to follow us on our social media. See you with the next video. Knowess International, the global mindset.